Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Monday edition of Sip.
Come sip with us, babies. How y'all doing? How y'all be?
I be here.
I be good.
I be a Bucky's chick.
She did the Bucky's, y'all. Bucky's is the
I've been to Bucky's and y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I done got turned out. I went to Bucky's and got turned out. So all y'all that don't know what Bucky's is, it's this big giant Walmart of a gas station. They got shopping carts for the gas station, y'all. Listen, they got everything.
They want all your money.
Every drink that's ever been made. They got a wall of beef jerky.
Yup.
No, wait. Let me correct myself. They have a wall of jerky because they had turkey jerky up there too. And then
they got chicken jerky too.
Yep, and they had a wall of trail mix. Like I was like, what in the hell is this? They sell clothes and lawn shit and
did you say shit?
Like I was like, you could spend hours and it's supposed to be a gas station. I just wanted to be.
Actually, technically, it's supposed to be a truck stop, but trucks can't even stop there for real.
Bruh.
They get so many tourists that the trucks can't even stop there.
But I tell you, I was like,
did you
I was walking through there. But you know what? The thing is when I went, I was actually in Houston. Well, I was between Houston and Galveston. And what was so funny is when I went, you could actually tell the difference between the tourists and the regulars. The regulars came in and they just got their shit and went on out. The tourists, they was like me. They had a shopping cart. They were like, in the gas station, bruh. They had about 100 pumps.
Excuse you, truck stop. And Sean corrected you.
It's trust me, when you're a regular, you just go in there like I'm going in to get me a sandwich, maybe two.
I go in there and get my little chocolate, my turkey sandwich.
We don't have one in Maryland, so I was fascinated, and I was just like, my eyes had glossed over, and I was just like, they had walls and walls of snacks. Like they had snacks that I hadn't seen in years. I was like, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. It was a great visit. I thank my god sister Ronnie and my goddaughter Tay Tay. Yes, that was when I came back from a little cruise and stuff. But
wait a minute, are you giving an acceptance speech for Bucky?
I know. That's what I tell everybody. Everybody asks, "What is Bucky?" I'm like, "It's an experience. You have to."
Is it? If somebody tell you they want to take you to Bucky's, listen, set some time aside because the Bucky's is a whole experience, y'all. Okay, so wait, I need to shout out somebody. So my girl Adrian, she lives in Atlanta, and she knits, and she knitted me this washcloth while I sat there. When I tell you, she said you can use the scrub your pots, whatever. She was just knitting because she had extra yarn, and that's how she, deals with anxiety and stuff. She likes to knit, but she also like sews and stuff. She makes beautiful garments. I done seen her take ugly ass clothes and turn them into like glamour things. But anyway, so this, first of all, I went down there just to check on my girl. And
I don't damn about no Adrian. You didn't even come see me, heifer.
Adrian live in
I don't
Atlanta.
care.
Though. I wasn't in
I don't
Alabama. I
care.
was in Atlanta.
I don't care.
So okay. Well, I'll stop by next time. You got Bucky's. Now that I know you got Bucky's,
I got
shit, I'll be
Bucky's
right on
20
over
minutes from
there.
my house. Back.
Be right on over there. But when I tell you, it meant a lot because she don't always be feeling good.
Hmm.
My girl got lupus, and she don't always be feeling good. And I won't even use it because I just know she made it for me.
That's so sweet.
No, but the fact she's so talented,
You
she's
should go
so
ahead and frame
talented.
it.
And it's just like, huh?
You should.
Hey,
Yeah, put it in the
I
shadow box.
said you should go
Yeah,
ahead
I
and
think
frame
I'll
it.
put it in the shadow box instead of like using it. I think I'll put it in the shadow box because you know what? She is so talented. The fact that she sat there and did it while I was sitting there. But I said that to say this. This is how much she did. One day, she said somebody had asked her about one of them, like, those weighted blankets or whatever. And she said she just wanted to see how much yarn and stuff it would take to make something like that. And then she told that girl, "You can't afford this. It's like $3,000 if I had to knit this for you." But when I tell you she made it wasn't really a blanket, it was more like a coat because it had sleeves and everything. When I tell you I put it on and it was so warm and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
Shout out to
Shout
Adrian.
out to Adrian. When I tell you, she just be like, but that's just her. And this, I said that to say this. There was somebody that called her that used to live in Atlanta that moved to the DR, and she had this dress she bought from a thrift store, and she said, I want to make it different and unique. I got this event I need to go to. When I tell you, she turned that ugly ass rag into a dress.
Oh, you know what? Moving on.
She did though. She did though, and the thing is, she had 2 days to do it, and I was like, it was after she showed us the before and after picture. It was absolutely gorgeous, and the thing is, she does everything without a pattern. That's talent. That's a God-given talent right there. Which brings us to our topic for tonight is the Black inventions.
Hey,
Listen, let me
hey.
tell you something. We are talented just because we have to do stuff, not because we trying to make money. Because
Facts.
when you think about it, they were talking about like we were just talking last week in general, but just like we've always been a neat people. That's why we invented stuff like the iron and the ironing board.
It's funny. It's funny that you said that because I was having a discussion with one of my boys, and he was talking about how guys be trying to wear suits and impress women. I'm like, but that's our culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always like even when we didn't have nothing,
Right.
we had a good set of clothes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there was hand me down, somebody in the family knew how to sew. Grandma, auntie, uncle,
Right.
whoever, mama,
Right.
daddy, you. They made
Right.
it work.
Yeah, and it would look slick, and we would have our hat and our suit, and we could step out.
You know what's so funny, Sean? When you say that, when you look at the list of the things that we invented, a lot of things we invented was to keep our homes neat and to keep ourselves neat, to keep our homes and ourselves presentable. Like things for our hair and things to keep our like to keep trash off the floor and stuff like that, hairbrushes and uh, dustpans, mops, brooms. We invented those things because we've always been a neat people. That's our culture. And so for somebody to say, that we dusty or this, that, and the other, you don't even know us. Because everything that you use to keep your shit straight, we invented.
I mean, we invented out of necessity.
That part.
And that's why there's that saying that necessity is the mother of invention.
Mm-hmm.
Because little do you know, do you know what a hame attachment is? I know you don't, but
A
I'm just
what?
asking. A hame, HAME, hame attachment.
No,
No.
what is that?
So that's the attachment that a black man created. Well, he didn't create it; he improved it to where you were better able to attach your equipment to the horse.
Mm.
Whether it was a plow or horse, a buggy, whatever you were using that horse or pack animal for, he was like, because it will always break, be faulty. He said, this ain't it, and he went and created the best that anybody ever seen. Ever since then, everybody used his hame attachment to attach their horses because they knew it was going to work and those horses were going to work. So we've been inventing things throughout time, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was W.B. Abrams.
Oh yeah. Well,
If
yeah.
y'all want to look him up, W.B. Abrams. Because he invented more than that. He that's just one of the things he invented.
We invented besides the hairbrush, which was invented by Lydia Newman, we also invented lotions and soaps, and that was G.O.W. Carver. And so that whole thing about always want to smell good, and you know what I'm saying, like we would.
Well, that just comes from hygiene, because
Mm-hmm.
if you look at history in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
with those other people they were
Right.
always plagued by plagues
Mm-hmm.
until we came out of Africa and showed them how to wash their ass. And look, you need to be clean. That's why y'all dying. And we had to show them how to do that.
This is true. This is true.
And
And
even today, they still don't. They be like, "Oh, I wash my hair so the soap will clean the rest of my body."
yeah, but they don't use no washcloth now. Who invented the washcloth? Because see, that's what I think about when I think about Adrian and her washcloth. Like, who invented the washcloth? That is probably us somewhere. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go look that up because I did not look that up. That was something I was supposed to look up and I forgot.
Mm.
Let's see.
La la la.
Oh, they were first used in ancient Egypt. So, Egyptians are actually in Northern Africa. So, you already know.
Well,
Right.
interesting fact. It is attributed that a black person invented the folding chair in the late 1800s. I just
The,
thought that would be helpful to know.
the,
The
the
potato,
what, Chris? The what?
the folding chair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's right. And this
It is
week is
attributed that a black person that invented the folding chair in the late 1800s. The potato chip was invented and attributed to George Crumb. He was a black
Now
native chief in New York in
that's a
1853.
that's an interesting story. The reason why he did that, he's actually being facetious, because the one of the other people was a patron and kept ordering potatoes and kept saying they wasn't right because he wanted some fried potatoes, and he was a chef and he was like, "Oh, so okay, they ain't right." So he took a razor blade and cut them real thin and
oh,
then fried them up, and they became crispy. He was like, "Yeah, send them that," and he was like, "Oh, I love this." He's like, "I'm on to something."
You're amazing.
Well,
Um,
I'm so glad you brought up the folding chair because this is the week of the Montgomery. I knew Montgomery civil rights. You know,
Black inventions is simple.
our little celebration of the Montgomery's boycott on the pier.
that's
That
why I was
wasn't a
like, this is
boycott. That was a Royal Rumble, a beatdown.
Yeah,
yes,
the
that was
Royal
a rumble in
Rumble.
the jungle for real, baby.
Yeah.
In 1887, the automatic elevator door attributed to Alexander Miles. He was a black inventor from Ohio. The mailbox was improved around 1891. That was the letter receiving box with a protective flap. It was patented by Philip Downing. The clothes dryer, or at least the early version of it, around 1892. The heated cabinet for drying the clothes was invented by George T. Sampson. The
Mm-hmm.
ice cream
And
scoop
her
was around,
brother Henry
yeah,
didn't get into the cell phone.
yeah. Ice cream scoop was designed, was improved around 1897 by Alfred Krell,
Mm-hmm.
Crale, Krell, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
The lever action scooping tool, so the one that has the thing that you pull back to
Yeah,
help eject
that's
the ice
right.
cream.
Because
Yeah,
before then they was just using regular spoons and they would bend. And he's like, "Yo, it's gotta be a better way. It's just
let me,
gotta be a better way."
But you
yeah,
know what's so funny is the first telephone and the cellular phone were both invented by black people. Granville T. Woods invented the telephone system.
we're amazed.
We're amazing. We are an amazing people, and the thing is that we didn't get credit for a lot of things because of the fact that we could not get patents.
We
Yeah,
didn't get credit for
We
nothing.
couldn't get patents, and then a lot of times some of the little laws and stuff just didn't allow us to get credit for the stuff, and so it would go into a white person's name. But I tell you what, let it break. That's how you tell who. That's how you could tell who really invented it because when it break, who could fix it?
right.
If you invented it, how come you don't know what's wrong with it?
Mhm. Um, Thomas Jennings, around 1821, the patent was issued for a dry scouring method, which is the precursor to the dry cleaning system that we now have. He was born in 1791 and died in 1856.
Mm-hmm.
Norbert Boullieu, the multiple effect vacuum evaporator for sugar refining. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in New Orleans. Um, let's see who else. Sarah E. Good invented the folding cabinet bed. The patent was issued in 1885. She was from Chicago, Illinois. She was considered the first Black woman to receive a U.S. patent. Willis Johnson, the mechanical egg beater. I did not know that. The patent was issued in 1884. It is the dual chamber mix designed for efficiency. Ugh. Um, Alexander Miles, automatic elevator doors, patent 1887. Lewis Latimer, the carbon filament for light bulbs, the air conditioner, and the railroad toilet.
Well, you know, Frederick, that's Frederick Jones, because as hot as it is this week, y'all need to know that he invented that air conditioner.
So this is not saying that the guy invented the air conditioner. It's saying that he invented the filament for it, the
Right.
filament for it.
Yeah, but the air conditioner was also invented by a black man, which was Frederick M. McKinley Jones, and he was he invented the matter of fact, he invented the defroster, the air conditioner, the two-cycle gas engine, the internal combustion engine, the refrigerator controls, as well as the starter generator.
Amazing. Black
Amazing.
excellence. Let's see who else can we add to this list.
It goes on and on. We damn near
Alexander
invented everything.
Ashburn, the biscuit cutter, patented 1875. He was from Philadelphia.
It was a
Joseph Lee,
black
the
man.
bread making machine, 1894.
It was a black man that invented the refrigerated unit that they use today to ship food across the country.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh,
George
and
West
Granville
and
T.
Martin
Woods
Galsey in
also invented the roller
1899.
coaster. Sorry. Granville T. Woods that invented the refrigerator. He also invented the roller coaster and the air brakes.
We're fucking amazing. I mean, girl,
We are amazing people, but like Sean
I
said, we invent out of need, not out of greed, and that's the difference. I
so I
mean,
challenge that because, and the only reason I'm challenging that because I feel like people continue to repeat that and try to make it, what's the word I want to use? Holy. If my friend who is black today invents something and they make $1 billion out of it, I'm gonna clap for them. Whether it's a video game or some shit they just came up because they had a daydream and God told them to do it, or whether it's something that they invented out of need. I hate when people say it because it just makes it seem like that's the only reason that we should be allowed to take credit or invent things.
no,
And we
No.
no,
absolutely
it's
can't
not.
invent things.
It's not. It's not that. It's not that, Jay. Listen to what I'm saying.
I
We
heard
look.
what you said.
We look around and we say, you know what? This some bullshit. This some ghetto ass shit. The way to do this. We finna. I got a better way to do this. Let me get this fucking trash up off this floor. How am I gonna get this trash up? I'm gonna get me a bro. And then they fashion stuff into a dustpan. Next thing you know, you got a whole cleaning system: broom, dustpan, and
I
mop.
get it.
Right?
Get
Because
it.
we like to keep our stuff neat. Now, does it make money now? Yes, it does make money now, but that wasn't the reason that we invent stuff. A
But
lot
that's
of
number one. I'm challenging that. How do you know that? Because you
well,
don't know every inventor. Number two,
because
we don't have as much need because we have more technology now. The only reason I'm challenging that thought process, if you really think about it, back in the day, yes, need. We didn't have access to things. We had to get creative and inventive.
Mhm.
But whether they created it because it was truly a need or whether they created it because they said, God, I want to create something to make my family rich, either one is noble. They
They
made
couldn't
something
make
that
their
helped
family
society.
rich because they couldn't get patents.
So I understand that. But all I'm saying is, whatever their intention was, I don't
Mhm.
care if they created it out of greed. They created something that improved society. And now, yes, it's easier for us to get recognition
Patents.
sometimes. But that being said, let's not continue to repeat something that is oftentimes, think about the wording. We create out of need, not greed. That makes
Mhm.
it seem that if somebody that is black does create something with the intention to profit or make money, then their intention has to be greed. If it wasn't a need that they were struggling to fix or an issue some white person fucked up that they were struggling to make better, then why did they really create it? And the bottom line is, my question is, does it matter? We have amazing people. We are geniuses. We are creative.
Right.
Like, we're divine. So does it matter?
Right.
I understand what you're saying and I understand your rationale, but a lot of people say that as if it's a flex. It's not a flex for us to feel like we can only create things that society needs and we can only create things that improve things that somebody else fixed or made or fucked up. We can create whatever we want for whatever reason we want, and it's just as noble and it's just as powerful and just as
You're right.
amazing.
And I feel
That's all
what
I'm
you're
saying.
saying. I feel what you're saying, and I don't think it was just done. I think I would do think because where we came from.
I get it.
I mean, there were the original black God damn it, I can't think of the name, man. What do you call them? The ladies that
Ugh.
help you have a baby. What's it called? What they
Doulas and
call it?
midwives.
Yeah, the first black midwives.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones that actually showed the modern medical industry how to sterilize your
Yeah,
shit and all that shit because before they didn't give a fuck.
I understand that.
So it wasn't really done out of a need per se, but it was done out of a need because they had an understanding of we need to make sure this shit is straight. But a lot of black people had to do that because they didn't have the same thing that somebody else had that they ain't give a fuck. They was like, shit, I gotta give a fuck because if I don't,
So
especially when it makes it more efficient for me.
I understand that. So you guys are arguing the logic from, we'll say 150 to 100 years ago, and I'm
I'm not,
right
I'm
there with
not,
you.
I'm
I
not,
get
I'm
it.
not, I'm not arguing
Listen,
any logic. I'm just saying it's 50-50. That's what I'm saying.
So
but
let
you
me
are
let me
arguing the
let
logic,
me let
No,
me
and
no, no. I'm saying it's 50-50. It is.
and all I'm saying
Because
is whether it was something created 100 years ago or today. If there's the guy that has figured out, I think, how to repurpose plastic and turn it into gasoline. He's a I forget exactly where he's from. He's not in the U.S., I think. But anyway,
Julian Brown.
that might be
so
him. But
No,
all I'm
that is
saying is,
him. And he is currently missing. He's been missing for two
I've been
weeks.
hearing that. Yeah, there's some people in his family that's saying he's not missing. There's some people that are saying he's missing. I don't know. All I'm saying is we don't have to continue to say we create out of need, not greed. Because I want them to profit when they make something. I want them to get all the credit. I want
It's
them to
I need
profit.
to.
And if they're
Madam,
greedy,
Madam,
I don't give a damn. Is
Madam,
all I'm
Madam,
saying.
Madam C.J. Walker, one of the
Right,
first millionaires in the country.
right,
She was considered the first black female millionaire.
right.
And
She
all
was
I'm
one of
saying is,
the first millionaires in the country. I mean, there was a
yeah.
couple, but she was among them.
And
She
all I'm saying
created,
is, I don't give a
she
damn if they
created,
created it out of greed or
she
not.
she she created it out of a necessity. It made money,
So
Hmm.
let's not vilify if somebody strictly
and
says,
no, ain't nobody vilifying
Ain't
my
nothing.
point
nobody
of thing is,
vilifying her, but the thing is that
Get your
our
get your
creative
paper.
mind works because of the fact that a lot of times things were not given to us, and so we invented things to make
but
our
that is
lives
not still the
easier.
mindset today, is all I'm arguing. I'm
No,
not
but
arguing
the
100 years
thing,
ago.
but
Let's
the
go down.
no, but the thing is, Jay, we have to acknowledge that a lot of these inventions came out of the fact that we were not given things. Listen,
I'm not arguing that at all.
we learned how to make a lot of what they consider the quote unquote delicacies of today. They fucking love chitlins.
I
We made
understand.
that shit because that's all we had to
I'm not
eat.
arguing that, Gypsy. I'm not arguing that. That's why I say y'all are
Who love
arguing as if it's
chitlins?
from 50
I'm
to
talking about
100
you
years
ain't
ago.
never seen no white people tear up chitlins. They do.
They
Oh,
do.
good for
They
They
them.
love,
do.
I
But
don't
they
fuck
that's
with
love
chitlins.
oxtails
But
now.
but that's the thing is the stuff they gave us to eat when we turned it into a delicacy or we
Gypsy,
turned it into
I
a
am
I
not
don't.
arguing that. I'm
I
not
don't
arguing
eat
that at all.
ass. I don't eat
Ah,
chitlins.
I'm not. You don't eat ass and chitlins, y'all.
I don't eat
You heard it
ass. I
first
don't
here.
eat chitlins.
Listen, I am not arguing that point, Gypsy. I'm not arguing that point at all. What I'm saying is that is not the only reason that our genius comes into play. Our genius does not have to always come into play through desperation or lack or
it's not
struggle.
really desperation. It's the fact that we've
Ladies,
always been a creative people.
ladies, calm down.
Hold on,
Calm
Sean.
down.
So nobody's upset. Shut the hell up. So, Gypsy, I'm not arguing that point. Again, back then is a very different experience than we are currently having. Do we still deal with bullshit? Yes. Racism? Yes. Prejudice? Yes. Oppression? All that. Every day. We know this. All I'm saying is that even though it was once true, almost everything was out of a need. That's why I said out of lack, out of struggle, out of desperation, because it was. Not for every
Not,
single black person, but for a
not.
lot of people. But that doesn't mean that every invention from our people has to only come from stress
But
and
it's
struggle,
it's
or
it's
that it
not.
has to
It's
come
not.
without them not wanting to make money or be greedy. I don't
No,
give a
no,
fuck
no,
if they're
no.
being greedy, is all I'm saying. I'm talking about right now today. We
But
get to make
see,
whatever we make
so
and let that be enough without having
so
to
so
qualify
my
or
so
justify it, is all I'm
this is
saying.
my thought. This is my thought process. It wasn't so much. I mean, yes, it was out of need, but it wasn't out of need. Like, oh, I got to do this because. But it was more out of like, yo, I know there's got to be a better way to do this. This is some
Right.
bullshit.
Let me tell you
Not
something.
not so much as I'm not trying to make money
Right.
because like shit, if I could perfect this, I'm gonna get paid.
But that is what not out of greed literally
no,
implies.
no.
Yes. Okay.
Think about this. A lot of times we needed more chairs in the house, but we didn't have nowhere to store them because we had all them fucking kids. We had all them kids because we needed them to help us damn, out there in the field. Hey, so we got these folding chairs.
Excuse me.
Smash them up, put
I
them in
think
the
we're
corner.
arguing
Wait a minute.
semantics at this point
Hold
because you
on.
keep saying the same thing and I keep saying the same thing.
Okay,
That's why I
I'm
told
just
y'all to calm down, but y'all ain't
No,
want to
you
listen
was
to
being
me.
an ass. You can shut the hell up.
listen.
But
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking about. But one of the things that I'm thinking about is the shoe lasting machine. We know damn well we ain't have no chain. We got a pair of shoes. We had to let them bitches last, and so they invented a shoe lasting machine. It was because shoes was hard to come by.
yes.
Shoes was hard to come by, and it was expensive. You know,
So you
by
still trying
their
to prove the
by their.
point. And I'm just we're arguing
Okay.
semantics at this point. You're still
All right,
arguing the point
baby.
of need, and I'm not disagreeing with that at all, Gypsy. You're not hearing me, and that's okay.
I hear you.
Because I'm not arguing that point. I'm simply saying something different. But it's okay. I love you anyway, and we ain't always gotta agree.
I love you too.
Because we are amazing. Dale said the first CCTV home security, Marie Von Britton Brown.
That's because we
Lonnie
always
Johnson, first
been
supervision.
nosy too, Dale. We need
Lonnie Johnson, Super Soaker.
what happened.
Now, Lonnie Johnson got taken advantage of because
It's so dead.
they bought the Super Soaker from him when he made it.
And made a
I,
shitload of money off of it.
I forget what because he worked for one of the toys. I forget which one it was.
It
Whichever one
was
stole
Nerf.
the Super Soaker.
Wasn't it Nerf that made the Super?
I don't know.
I don't know,
I
and
think
I
so.
ain't put it on nobody. But yeah, and that was some bullshit because they took straight up.
Yeah, it was Nerf.
When they saw it, they was like, "Oh, this is a multi-million-dollar," and they paid him pennies.
Frederick
Now he
Johnson
did.
of Jones.
He
I'm
did.
sorry.
He did invent some other shit too.
We'll have
A
to look
couple
him up.
other games. Yeah.
Frederick Jones you mentioned him, I think, earlier, the mobile refrigeration unit. The patent was 1940, but the system was from the 30s. He was from Cincinnati, Ohio. Otis Boykin improved resistors used in pacemakers, computers, and TVs. Patent 1959. He was from Dallas, Texas. You just mentioned Marie Van Britton Brown. James E. West, the electric microphone used in phones, hearing aids, patented 1964. He was from Prince Edward County, Virginia. Mark Dean, the color IBM PC monitor and the gigahertz processor, 1981 and 1999, 81 and 99.
Who invented caller ID?
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? And when he talked about Lonnie Johnson, Lonnie Johnson was from Alabama and he currently lives in Atlanta.
He was born in 1949 and he's from Mobile, Alabama.
Yep, but he lives in Atlanta now in Ansley Park. But he was a NASA engineer. But see, that's the other thing is that we didn't get credit for half of the stuff. Do you know nobody, including me, didn't know about that they had black women that were mathematicians that were the reason we were able to even get to the moon.
Yes. Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson, a theoretical physicist that worked for AT&T in the 70s, is who invented caller ID.
Ah.
Let's see.
The stair climbing wheelchair was invented by Rufus Weaver.
Oh, and that's a whole
like,
thing.
I ain't dragging that fucking wheelchair out up them stairs.
You know what? You know what?
Your ass gonna stay downstairs.
Like Miss Daisy, I done drove you. I ain't dragging you. We gonna fix this.
The guy Lonnie Johnson who did
dragging his chair all the way upstairs.
The guy Lonnie Johnson who did the Super Soaker, he invented the JTEC batteries. I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner invented the sanitary belt, the toilet paper holder, the shower
Oh
tray, and a
yeah, I
walker
forgot
pouch.
about that. It was
And
a black
she,
woman that made the sanitary belt. If y'all
yeah,
don't know, before there was tampons and maxi pads, it was a
Right.
sanitary belt. If y'all don't know,
We never liked being a nasty people. Never.
she was, she was born in
Never.
1912 to 2006, and she was from Charlotte, North Carolina, and lived in Washington, D.C. as well. And Hugh M. Brown invented the wastewater stopper device, patented in 1980, and he was from Washington, D.C.
all right. So, who was the first person to actually? Uh, I'm trying to think. What's the best way to?
Don't be trying to stump us while we lie,
I mean, y'all got Google. Everybody got Google.
nigga. I'm
Uh,
ready.
the first, the first person that created the schematics of building a navy ship on a computer. Let me say it that way. I think that's the right way to say it.
Schematics on a Navy ship.
To build a navy ship on a computer. You know how to draft it. Let me say draft it, because you
So
know
the
how they used to
architecture
draft.
of it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Give you a hint. She basically invented computer drafting, basically. But she did it for.
Computer
She
graphics.
worked for the navy. She did it for navy
Hold
ships.
on, let me see.
I'm not seeing.
The modern. Let me see. No, they gave it to two men.
Yeah, that's who I saw. John Erickson and somebody.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first person to do it, or the modern way of doing it, because the first person to do it was a black woman. I can tell you
Oh,
that. She did it in
I see
19
Charles
hours.
Babbage.
you know the first toilet.
Montagu. Ray Montagu.
No,
It
was
says
it?
she
Yeah.
developed the first computer program for drafting ship designs for the U.S. Navy, reducing the
Okay.
time required from 2 hours, 2 years to just 18 hours. She was a civil
What is the?
engineer and the
Yeah.
first female program manager of ships.
And
I
she
had to
taught
really
herself.
change my wording to find it.
I feel that's why I was trying to figure out the right way to say it.
Yeah.
But she was the first person did it, and she taught
The,
herself. She taught herself.
Ray Montague. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else did I find? Chart. Oh, that came out all wrong.
Did you see
George
Thomas?
Carruthers. Hmm.
Did you see Thomas Elkins? The precursor to the modern toilet. It
Yes,
was
he's on
called
my
the
list.
chamber commode, and
Yes.
he invented that before they got the modern new like flushing toilet. Sure did. Thomas Elkins.
Cause we don't. George Carruthers invented the ultraviolet camera and spectrograph used in space in the 1970s to photograph Earth's atmosphere and galaxies. He's a NASA award winner. Leonidas Berry. I think that's the first time I heard a black man named Leonidas.
Leon.
Um,
It's a
he
strong name. Trust me, it's
it
a
is
lot
a
of black
strong
men
name.
named Leonidas. Trust me.
He created the Eder-Berry biopsy scope, improving gastroscopic discoveries of alcoholic liver disease. Janet Emerson Bashin patented Linkline, the first web-based software for managing equal employment opportunity claims in 2006. Um, Tahira Reed Smith from Bronx, New York, invented the automated double Dutch jump rope machine. She was a professor of mechanical engineering. Okay.
Hey,
She loved her some jump rope.
she
Yes,
did. Hey.
I love it. Um, Thomas Elkins. Yeah, you just mentioned him. He also trying to get my word out. He also invented refrigerated apparatus. Let's see. Let me see if I can see what else. I thought I had another note for him. Okay, his inventions enhanced commodes with the mirror desk features and improved refrigeration to prevent decay. Let's see. In medicine, Charles Richard Drew blood banking and plasma preservation.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1938 to 1940 time span. He
We
was from
wouldn't have
Washington,
no Red
D.C.
Cross if it wasn't for him.
Patricia Bath, she created the laser phaco probe, cataract surgery, patented in 1986, issued in 1986 and 88 globally. She was from Harlem, New York. She just passed in 2019.
Oh wow.
Leonidas Berry passed in 1995. He was born in 1902 to 1995. Bessie Blunt Griffin, the electronic feeding tube for amputees.
Hmm.
This was during the late 40s and 50s. She was born in 1914 and just passed in 2009. She was born in, lived in Virginia, New Jersey areas. Because I was trying to look not only for like what they created, but I wanted to know like when they were alive, how long had they lived? You know, did they die recently, etc.? Where did they live? I already looked at
Did you
those.
see the disposable syringe was invented by Phil Brooks? He just did that in 1974.
Yes.
Yep.
Did I say
So,
Joseph Lee?
right. So the people that, like diabetics and things like that, people that got to give themselves injections at home and stuff, they do it because of him.
Yeah. Did I say Joseph Lee? He invented the bread making machine and the breadcrumb maker, 1994, 1894 through 1895. He lived in Boston, Massachusetts. George Washington Carver, we know he
Yeah.
helped improve the crops process, peanut-based products, and soaps, dyes, and lotions from the 1890s to the 1914 time frame. He died in 1943. He was from Missouri. George Franklin Grant, the golf tee, patented 1899. He lived in Boston, Massachusetts. Let me see. Robert Fleming Jr., the Euphonica guitar design, patented in 1899.
Well,
John Lee Love, huh?
Morris Lee, he invented the pressure cooker, the modern pressure cooker, and he just died in 2009.
Really?
He
Wow.
invented that in 1963.
Wow. See, we dope as hell. John Lee Love improved the pencil sharpener. Let's see. James E. West, the Electrofet microphone. Marion Croak, the VoIP text to donate and communication text that we see all the time now through the 1980s to 2000 era. And she's
Yeah.
currently still alive.
Oh
Yeah, because
wow.
before that there was no voice over internet protocol, if you don't know what VoIP means, but
No, it wasn't.
you know what I'm saying, and that goes to my point of that it's not really out of really it's not like necessity, but it's just like how can I make this better?
Right, but that also phased out the telephone.
I mean, you could still
Because
get you a landline if you
I
want a
mean,
landline.
yeah, but the landline actually is still a VoIP. Like
I
really,
mean,
it's
I'm
still
not
a, it's still
I'm
a
not
VoIP. They
I'm not
don't use the telephone lines like they used to
I'm
because
not arguing that.
even if I get a telephone line now, it comes through the cable company. It doesn't come through There are no modern telephone companies for home phone anymore. Remember that we used to have Ma Bell and Bell Atlantic. Remember when Ma Bell split up and they made it like Bell Atlantic and Bell South, and they split them up into the bells in like different locations. But then the late 90s, because that's the last time that Bell anything was around. The late 90s, people started getting, yeah, because I remember now in the late in 2002, when I had my house built, I had 2 telephone lines. That was the last time I had any Bell products. Bell South is when I had them. I had 2 telephone lines because I had old AOL. And he used to take up the telephone line. So I had 2 telephone lines put into the house. And shortly after that, so people have to realize that in the last 25 years, we have phased out home telephones and have exclusively gone to mobile phones. Like, and even if you have a home phone, it's not truly a home phone because it's actually over an internet line.
But we wouldn't even have modern day mobile phones if it wasn't for a black woman.
Exactly. We wouldn't have ice cream either. Ice cream was invented by Augustus Jackson. It probably was one of them ones. Listen, I remember when we used to make ice cream at the house. That was a big summer thing where we would sit out on the porch, and then when it started getting hard, then the grown-ups would do it. But you had to turn that little crank. Y'all remember making ice cream on the porch? Y'all ain't make ice cream on the porch?
No.
What fucked up childhood did y'all have?
I'm from the city. I'm from the city. We made ice pops. We made some Kool-Aid and poured it in this shit with the little sticks and put that in the freezer.
Y'all didn't make ice cream on the porch?
And if we were feeling real good and bougie, we did the fresh fruit in the ice cream trays and put them in the freezer with yogurt. Okay?
No, it ain't nothing like cranking that shit like this. And then when it start getting hard, you got to get somebody older to do it. They let the kids do it until it started getting hard. You had that rock salt and that damn ice.
No.
What? Y'all don't...
I work hard for the money.
Y'all didn't make ice cream? Not even once? Y'all ain't never made ice cream?
I made it with a machine a couple of years ago.
That's the best ice cream ever.
I done a lot of shit. I done thrown melons. I done picked harvest, but I ain't never made no ice cream.
Okay. All right, my YouTube nation, have y'all ever made ice cream? Tell them that is the best ice cream ever. It's the homemade ice cream that you made on the porch with the damn turning crank.
No.
I mean that's a great memory, to reminisce. I'm just saying, but that's not everybody ain't do that.
Right.
I'm just letting you know that everybody ain't do that.
We listen and we don't judge.
But you know what? Yeah. I also lived overseas when we was making ice cream, so there was that part.
I know a lot of people here that did it. I just wasn't.
Yeah, we had the rock salt and it was just a big deal.
Did you make your own wurst in Braunschweig?
Yeah. Charles and Shirley Sherrod invented the Community Land Trust and Collective Farming from 1969 to now. Yep. Alice Augusta Ball invented the Ball method for leprosy treatment, developed in 1916. Percy Levon Julian synthesized hormones and cortisone from plants during the 1930s and 40s. He was from Montgomery, Alabama. Philip I don't want to butcher this name. Miagawali. EMEAGWALI. He invented the early high-speed computing in 1989. He Was born in Nigeria, but currently lives in the U.S. I think he's still alive, born in 1954. Gordon Matthews is credited with commercial voicemail or voice message exchange, patented in 1979, issued in 83. He was from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and also lived in Dallas, Texas. He passed in 2002. Victor B. Lawrence invented the digital signal processing for voice data video evolution in the 1970s to now. He's still alive. He was from Accra, Ghana, and currently lives in the U.S. Oh, Carrie Holly invented the service-oriented architecture, or SOA, for enterprise cloud systems in the 1990s. Lisa Gelobter, Gelobter, invented web animation and early GIF format technology in the 1990s.
It's
Clarence Ellis,
actually GIF.
GIF, sorry.
I'm just saying.
It's
The
So
guy
right,
that actually created the technology calls it GIF, so it's GIF.
GIF.
I'm just saying.
Um, Clarence Ellis is known for the operational transformation tech behind Google Docs and real-time editing. Dope as hell because I use it every day. That was in the 1990s.
So
Right.
not only do we give culture, not only do we give the retrospect, but we also give the inventions. So I mean, we really need to just say fuck everybody, get together and live our own shit. We can take
I
over.
mean, I'm
That's
down
all
for
I'm
the
saying.
cause. I'm down for whatever. Ain't that what we used to say?
That's
Uh,
all I'm saying.
he
that part,
revolutionized
because
collaborative document editing.
it's about taking our power back. Because remember, y'all, the P in SIP is for power,
Yes.
and the thing is that truly we're not the degenerates that we have been broadcast to be.
Oh, I'm a
This
degenerate.
Anywho, we're not
this is
the
why I was
degenerates
arguing
that
my
we've
point
been
of
broadcast to
let's
be.
not back us into a corner and just make it seem like we can't be greedy. I don't think that if we want to make something for money is greedy. And I think we should
No,
celebrate the fact that people
get
are
your
dope
paper.
as
No, I'm not saying that either, but I'm saying if we got together and built our own community, we
yeah.
would survive.
We'd be unstoppable. Here's another good one. Lisa Stevens, advanced satellite communication algorithms in the 2000s, improved global data
Mm-hmm.
connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so right now, they got this
Because
thing.
if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have sat phones.
Well, right now, they're going to what they call eVTOL, which is electronic vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, which is it takes off and lands like a helicopter, but it flies like an airplane, right? Well, I say that because the modern helicopter, was invented by this guy. He actually contributed to it. Was like Paul E. Williams. So that technology was just in the 1960s, right? So then you got to think about this. So then you got this new vertical takeoff and landing vehicle that they're trying to do, and they wouldn't be able to do that without the stuff that he helped invent. So this is the thing, though.
Cause we dope.
We
Oh, here's
need
another
to.
good one. Gypsy, before you finish that, here's another
Okay.
good one to your point. Roy L. Clay, known for software and leadership for Hewlett Packard's first mini computer in the 1965 to 1970s era, and was part of the led HP development pivotal in early Silicon Valley.
So a lot of y'all don't know, but I'm just gonna, y'all know me as Gypsy, but I'm just gonna share a little bit of my life, my other life. I'm a computer programmer. So this is what I do is I build software for new stuff, and I'm always looking to improve the things that we are actually using right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of us out here that are absolutely brilliant with what we do.
Yes, you are.
We're absolutely, and thank you
Pat
very
yourself
much.
on the back,
And
girl.
so
Don't
we
skip over
got,
there.
I mean, and then we got,
You see how she
we
got
got
across the
people
line?
that are
We are so
awesome,
uncomfortable receiving
but
accolades. Let's
but
pause, 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 pause,
it's
pause.
not
Before
about
we
that.
give anybody else kudos, stop and pat yourself on the back and acknowledge your own badassery, because we ain't gotta be humble and quiet and meek and mild all the time. We get to celebrate
Right.
ourselves. Okay? You're dope as fuck, girl. Honor that.
I appreciate that, and I just want people to understand that we need to one promote us getting into STEM,
Yes.
because we need more of us into STEM. We don't always have to just shoot a ball or sing and shit and entertain and be the coonery and buffoonery for their entertainment. We are actually a brilliant people with a brilliant mind, and we need to get most of these things. If you look at them, most of these things are steeped into science, technology, engineering, and math. And you can't tell me that we're not brilliant in those areas.
Yeah.
Because first of all, even those that don't go to college are brilliant in those. Let me just tell you, listen, I'm finna break it down for y'all. Even the corner store, the corner drug dealer is a brilliant STEM person, and I'm gonna tell you why. He know how to break it down, and he's a brilliant marketer too. He know how to break it down,
They know business.
make his money. He can market. He can
Yeah.
calculate. He can flip it. Like these are the things. Like, don't sell yourself short, because at the end of the day, we're gonna make it do what it do. When the economy crashed in not only 2008, but when it crashed during the depression, the Great Depression, you know who came out on top? Was still us, because you know what? We know how to take scraps and make whatever. We can feed a whole family with $2.
We was already living that life.
That part, that part. And so but we do need to encourage more of us to exercise our minds and know that the only way out of whatever your situation is, if you think that your situation is so bad, is not by being in athletics or being in entertainment. You can be a brilliant person. Like, you can push numbers, you can,
So
yeah.
the best way to sum that up is follow your strengths.
Right.
Yeah.
If
And
you're a creative person, if you can sit there and create, whether you make cakes, design clothing, or like Gypsy's friend, knit, crochet, sew, you know,
follow your
if
heart,
you're
follow your passion, do what you love.
exactly,
Because
if you're creative, do that.
yeah, I also want to throw this in there just for consideration. Like, I genuinely think this starts at home.
Hmm.
We can't wait for teachers to see our strengths and encourage us. This
Right.
starts with parents. This starts with caregivers. This starts with grandmas. This starts with, our community, our family. When you see your children playing, don't try to stop them from doing what they're doing and force them to do it the way that you think they should, or following whatever footsteps you think they should. Let them find out what their genius is by expressing themselves. I believe this is the reason that a lot of us don't go into math and science, and I can only speak from my personal experience. I know when I was younger, I was brilliant in math and science, like all A's, loved it. And then because we were constantly moving around, you know, military and just being discouraged, you know what I'm saying? Like certain people saying certain things, being discouraged. I started to feel like I wasn't good at math or science. And by the time I got into high school, I had become like a BC student in math and science. And it wasn't until I got into college that I realized it was because of the intentional demotivation that had been done, right? Because when I got into chemistry, when I got into, you know, biology and college, I was good at it when I applied myself. And that was the thing. I had been so conditioned that I was no longer applying myself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's intentional because think about the fact that Black women are the most victimized in our healthcare system in the US. And so if you have more of us and and these different professions and these different niches, whether it's orthopedics, whether it's surgery, whether it's um, dermatology, whether it's obstetrics, whatever it is, the more of us you have in a lot of these spaces, the better our well-being gets. Our health literally begins to improve because we are looking out from the lens of what we know our people are dealing with, but also treating them like actual human beings instead of file numbers. We're not treating them like they're drug seeking. We're actually listening to them, hearing them describe their pain. We're researching and figuring out how to actually help them instead of just being dismissed and causing a lot of us to die unnecessarily, right? So it's systemic and it's intentional, but we combat that by starting it at home. A lot of parents think the teachers are supposed to do this. No, we are supposed to be doing this, and the teachers just foster it and add their expertise to it. You get what I'm saying? And I also want to say, you know, adding on to what Sean said, follow your passion. Like I took the 25 years thus far that I've been in my career back in 2021, what 24, 21, 22 years over 2021, 22 period. And I designed a whole course to train healers and practitioners. I took hypnotherapy and I took timeline healing and Akashic and all those things. And I filtered it through our lived experiences to teach us. You know what I'm saying? That's my genius.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't finna lie and say I did it only because there was a need. Yes, we need more of us, and I was intentional about that, but I did it specifically because I wanted to make money in my own business. And I'm
Right.
damn good at
Cha-ching.
what I do. Right. I'm good at what I do. And so I decided to be great at what I do, good at what I do, and do the thing that I wanted to help more of us level the playing field. That was my
Right.
intention. We're gonna level the playing field by me intentionally helping more people that look like us get out here and do these things and know these things, whether you want to do it in a business or just help your family, right? So, like
Mm-hmm.
Sean said, listen, find the thing that you want, find the thing that feels good for you, that speaks to you, that makes you excited to get out of the bed in the morning. You know what I'm
That
saying? Because
inspires you.
yeah, because you can be great at it and make money at it if you want to, or you can be great at it just to help your family. You might be the person behind the scenes. Money may not motivate you, but you might be the person behind the scenes that just helps your family to thrive. Like,
Well,
we are fucking amazing.
it's funny that you say that because I work today and there are times that I get lost in what I do because I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a programmer and I love it. I love design and I love um, making new programs to do stuff better and to do stuff faster and things like that. And I had worked late without even trying to work late because I don't watch the clock because I love what I do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I was always told to find something that you love what you do so that it doesn't seem like work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that is true. Now, does that mean that you're gonna always like your job? There are some days I hate what I'm doing because there's sometimes a lot of meetings and stuff. Like I like the programming side of it, but then there's a lot of meetings that I have to take to get like specs and parameters and what is it that you're trying to make it do or whatever. Do I like that part of my job? No, but that is part of my job, right? But that's not saying you're going to like every single day that you go to work. But the majority of the time, you shouldn't be watching the clock saying, damn, I wish I was off.
Yeah. And if you don't love what you do and you're just using it as a means to an end, that's okay too, as long as it's not derailing your well-being. It's okay to do something short term or in the interim to get to where you need to be or want to be to do the thing you love, right? And whether it's inventing something or just being amazing at what you do, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you become that go-to person in your field, if you become that go-to person in your office, I don't care whether you're the lunch counter lady or guy, I don't care whether
Right.
you're the janitor in the school or the teacher or a NASA astronaut or whatever. Like, be amazing and let your genius shine, because I
Yes.
truly think that that makes a difference, and that's how we impact the world. I was having a conversation. I don't know if it was my physical therapist or whoever it was, and they asked me what I do, and I was telling them, and I said, you know, my ultimate motive and plan is to take over the world, one person at a time, because I know that for every person I help in the wellness and the healing space, my reach is unlimited because they're taking it back to their kids, their spouses, their families, their friends, their coworkers, their employees, everybody that they connect with when they embody it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so that takes it beyond the people that I've helped in my career and will help before I leave this earth, whenever that time is. That takes it infinitely beyond just me, you know. And I think that we have to honor that and celebrate our genius. Like I said, if you get in it for money, shit, do your thing. If you get in it because you want to help your child heal from something, do your thing. If you get into it because you were just bored as hell and God gave it to you in a dream, do your thing. Because like we just need to be able to celebrate ourselves without feeling like we got to be humble or be quiet or be small or minimize ourselves. That's what we've been taught, and that's bullshit.
You know
Like that,
why we've been taught that though.
I get it, but we have to fight
Sometimes
that.
we're in a small pond and we're the big fish in the small pond, and I shouldn't have to dim my light to make you feel better.
Yeah.
But a
Whether it
lot
comes
of
from your
times
family or white
that's
society or whatever, speak up,
that's
toot
what we've
your
been taught.
horn.
That's
I
what
get
we've
it.
been taught though. We've been taught that if we stand out in our environment that we need to dim ourselves, not make ourselves as bright, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, why do I have to make myself not as bright because you are dim?
I get it. Well, that's why I said no matter the reason, whether it came from racism or prejudice or societal stuff, whether it came from safety and protection, a lot of our families taught us to be small because it was their way that they knew how to keep us safe. A lot of people do it out of insecurity because if you get too big, where's that going to leave them? Like there's so many reasons. We can never discover all the reasons, but I want to remind us that fuck the reason. Like at the end of the day, if you never figure out why you started doing it,
Mm-hmm.
speak up now. You get what, like, that's how we change the narrative. We do it differently now. When you catch yourself, because I have to catch myself sometimes. Like, oh the hell, nope, hey y'all. Like you get what I'm saying? It was so ingrained at one point, it's sneaky. But when I catch it, I'm like, the fuck? What's hey, y'all know who I am? Hey. And that doesn't mean I'm the loudest person in the room, but I've learned to toot my horn and be comfortable with that, because you will make other people uncomfortable when you celebrate yourself and toot your horn. And I'm saying
Well,
do that shit anyway.
I'm still a little apprehensive about like tooting my own horn and stuff. But if I'm gonna be the janitor, I'm gonna be the best janitor they ever seen. And
You know why I
so,
toot my horn, Gypsy? Because I was a high school dropout at 15 years old, watching my parents and watching the people in my family. I was a high school dropout at 10th grade because I didn't believe in myself. I believed what everybody else said. You're going to be just like your mom. You're going to be just like your dad. You're not going to be nothing. You ain't shit. Who you think you are? Like, I believed all of that. You understand? And it was really my grandmother still whispering in my ear, Even when I was angry, even when I was wilding out and cutting school, doing all the shit I wasn't supposed to be doing, it was her saying, but you can still do something different. So I went and got my GED at 18. I just signed up and took the test and I passed. And I said, oh. And then I went to tech school because I was afraid to go to college. I didn't think that I could. I didn't think that I was smart enough where I could make it. And I went to tech school to be EMT. And it was watching the firefighters and the paramedics and hanging around with them and realizing, hell, I know what they know.
Oh, wow.
I could do this. So then I went to a 2-year college. And it was my professor, my psych professor, Dr. Newburn Reynolds. I remember his name to the day I die. It was my psych professor. He was the bane of my existence. I tell this story every once in a while. Like, I hated that man, low key, because he would call me out in class, pick on me, holler my name in the middle of the hallway, just like show out. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? How did I piss you off? Like, how do I get on your good side? And he stood in the hallway one day and was like, I refuse to let you be mediocre.
Mm.
Like, I refuse because I see how
Mm.
intelligent you are. My history teacher, Miss Vaughn, I think her name was, my history teacher and my political science teacher, she called me to her office one day because I kept failing the test. I didn't know I had test anxiety. I didn't know I was ADHD at the time, but I kept failing. She called me to her office and gave me the test spot on, and I passed it with 100%. And she said, your issue is not that you don't know it, you second guess yourself, because I had no self-esteem. You see what I'm saying? This is why I tell people to toot their horn, because then I graduated. Well, I walked the stage. I technically didn't graduate. I transferred. I transferred to a private university and got my first degree in psychology. Through an accident, through rehabbing, through almost dying, I got my bachelor's. Then I went straight into my master's a couple of years later. Then I went straight into my PhD because that was the promise I made that 18-year-old girl. This is why I tell people you got to hype yourself up, because when you're waiting for someone else, that's likely the person that beat you down in the first fucking place to make you doubt yourself. And whoever you got whispering, no matter how small their voice may be to make you feel better, listen. All you need is one person to believe in you, is you. But if you got another one, you better hold on tight and go for what you get what I'm saying? I could have been doing any number of things, dead, in jail, on the pole, running the streets, in the game, doing whatever. And I'm none of those things. I am a highly educated Black woman. And I'm oftentimes one of the most educated people when I walk in the room.
You know what's so funny is I have
So
a couple,
I'm telling y'all, hype yourself up, because there's no limit to what you can do when you believe in yourself.
and you know people discount teachers, but I got a couple teachers and professors that made a lasting impact on me. And Mr.
Yeah.
Bruce, he was my algebra teacher in high school. Now I hated his little bell bottom wearing ass, I but at the same time, Mr. Bruce was brilliant. But in the
Bell
80s,
bottoms.
yes, in the 80s, he was still wearing fucking bell bottoms, but that
Okay.
nigga was brilliant. He was
He was wearing them past the time.
he was wearing bell bottoms and he had that
Okay.
damn George Jefferson haircut.
He had the
Hey,
drop top.
Yes, but he was. But listen, when I tell you that dude was that dude was brilliant, right? And then there was Mr. Bruce, Mr. I mean not so Mr. Bruce was him. Miss Ballou, Miss Ballou, she was the accounting teacher, but it was a programming accounting class that I was in college then, and it was a program. It was part of my undergrad for programming, and she was absolutely brilliant. She made a lasting impact on me as well. And it's just like there are some teachers that you encounter, and Miss Silas, she gave me a love of science in the ninth grade. And so there are some teachers that you encounter that you'll never, ever, ever forget, right? And whether it's the encouragement or um, just the fact that they expected more out of you because they knew that you had more to give, and like like what you said, Jay, sometimes they see something in you that you don't see in you, and they're a little bit harder on you, and at times you might be like, man, fuck them. But at the same time, they're harder on you because these teachers don't make a lot of money, and a lot of them do it because they love being able to instill knowledge in the next generation. I'm scared for us though, because this next generation love chat GPT and shit like that. They don't like, they really can't think for themselves. And I'm very frightened for what the future holds now, because we seem to have a non-thinking and non-motivated, non-self-motivated generation.
Why would I be motivated if everything was given to me?
That's why family base is so important. Like whether it's traditional, non-traditional, I don't care. Whoever you have at home, we as parents, as caregivers, I don't have any living children, but my friends that have kids, their babies call me Auntie J, because they know I'm gonna love you like you're mine. I'm gonna chastise you like you're mine. I'm gonna put you in check like you're mine. I'm gonna keep you safe like you're mine. I'll go hard for you just like I would anybody that I birth. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's needing me to pick you up from school, drop you off at school, study with you, call you out on your bullshit, whatever. And I think that we have sometimes lost the true power and understanding of what our village looks like. Right. I joke a lot and I say I don't really like other people's kids. I mean, I don't like the average stranger on the street and they kids. I don't. And I ain't gonna lie to you and say I do. I am comfortable enough in my skin to say that, because there's a lot of pressure on women to be like, I love everybody's kids. I don't fucking know. But I love the children of the people that I love. Right. And so, same thing when I was married. My stepkids, I loved them like they were mine, treated them like they were mine. Because I feel like our community thrives through our village. We thrive through our community, through our tribe. And a lot of the people now act like they don't have to take responsibility for anything. Like when one of my best friends calls me and tells me her son is fucking up and acting a fool, when she get in his ass, I'm right behind her. And I'm constantly telling her, make sure that you find positive male role models to be in his life, be in his face. Even as a 45-year-old woman, I make sure that I have safe men in my life. You know what I'm saying? That can give me perspective on things, because you as a man can't see everything, Sean. Gypsy and I as women can't see everything. We need one another's perspectives. We need relationship and safe conversation to see the 30,000-foot view, the helicopter view, the atmospheric view sometimes, and get ourselves out of the mix of right here where we are. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's true. So, first of all, we stopped being a village a long time ago.
We
But we're
did.
coming back to it. A lot of us
Well,
are coming back to it.
why though? Why do you think that is, Sean? That we stopped being a village?
Politics.
Yeah, politics, society, racism,
You know,
survival.
Clarify.
because
If you
before
again, we
we
talked
used to
about
be
Section 8 last
amongst
week, didn't we?
ourselves in our own community, and we got forced out of that. Now we got put in projects on stacked on top of each other.
Yeah,
The shit's
like
already
we talked
fucked
about
up,
last year.
and now I'm mad at
Last
everybody.
week.
But you right here, so I can take it out on you now. So that
Yeah.
creates a whole nother dynamic. So that fucked the whole village up.
Yeah. But like we talked about last week with Section 8 and different housing assistance, they could only get the support if the man was not in the home, and then on top of that,
Oh,
racism pitting us
it was
against one another.
a systemic thing to break down the black family. It was intentionally done.
But look at racism and how it pitted us against one another as far as education. Now it's always being talked about that statistically black women are one of the highest educated groups, right? We're making more income faster than a lot of black men. They're not telling us that because they want to celebrate us. They're telling us that all the time because they want to use it as a divide between us. They want us as black women and black men to be arguing amongst ourselves. That's why I said if you look at it, there's a reason they didn't want us going into math and science
Right.
and medicine. Because if you got more black doctors, because even as recent as the last 5 years, I think 4 or 5 years ago, there was a study done that white doctors Y'all, I get chills because I can't even fathom thinking this. But white doctors literally said they still thought that black people felt pain differently. This
Well,
is why they
I'm gonna
this is why they
let me
think
tell
it's
you
drug
something.
sniffing. But hold on, this is why they
Okay.
say when women are going through child labor, you don't need that epidural. Just bear through it. This is why they wait a lot of times. This is why when a black woman says she wants to keep her placenta, because y'all, I am a trained doula. This is why when she wants to keep her placenta, they'll make up a reason. Well, even though baby's fine, mama's fine, they finna release them the next day or go home that same day. Well, here she was a little yellow, so we gotta test the placenta to make sure everything was okay. No, the fuck they don't all the time. This is why when you're going to ask for pain medicine, they're telling you your pain ain't that bad. My back hurt too. I had a surgeon tell me that one day. My back hurt too. I said, God, get his ass. The next time I showed up for an appointment, he had injured himself hiking. He couldn't hardly stand up straight. I said, you feel what I feel like, don't you? And he said, I got to apologize for it. I said, oh, okay. Because they really look at you and think you be lying because you're black.
No, they really think we're pill shopping. To be honest with
Yeah,
you,
drug taking.
they really think we're pill shopping. And but the other thing is that not to
And
discount.
I will say, as somebody from the mental health field, when I worked in drug addiction with teens and adults,
Mhm.
the majority wasn't us.
Right, but I'm gonna tell you this now. To be honest with you, my endometriosis wasn't properly diagnosed until a male diagnosed it,
Yeah,
because all the women were telling me is, well, pain is part of being a woman.
because that's what we've
And
been conditioned to
I
believe.
had severe endometriosis, and they were very dismissive of it, even though they were, having to do surgery every couple months to eradicate like some of the damage. But it was a male who said, you know what? You have severe endometriosis, and these are your choices, because you're going to die if you keep having this issue.
I had a
Um,
black female doctor that left the field. This was like in 2008. She was treating me after my car accident. Her husband was a heart surgeon, I think, and she was a GP, general practitioner. She left the field. She had just came back when I got referred to her because she was so frustrated with how she was seeing us as people being treated and how they as black doctors often had their hands tied. Because if you're the one black doctor and you're going against what these last 5 doctors that saw this patient said, you get what I'm saying? And it's not fair and it's not right. But a lot of times they go along to get along
right,
to protect their license. They go along to get along so that they can stay in the field, not just in medicine, but in so many spaces.
right,
So it's like because there's not enough of us,
right.
the few that get there feel like they can't rock the boat for fear, right? So that's why I said we have to show up not just in STEM, but in all the places. We need to see us in the schools. We need to see us as principals, as teachers. We need to be physical therapists. I had a white girl try to check me about something years ago when I walked into the PT place and she told me to do something. I said, no, I can't do that. And she got an attitude with me and tried to call me out in front of the whole room. I read her rights. I did. I said, assign me to the black lady. Because what you ain't gonna do is tell me you know my body better than me, right? But that's why we need to be in these spaces because not everybody knows how to advocate for themselves. This is why y'all hear me always saying we got to advocate for ourselves too.
Mhm.
We have to learn how to speak up, Gypsy. Everybody's not as bold as Sean. Everybody's not as bold as you. Everybody's not as bold as me.
But
You know,
I got bold because of the trials and tribulations that I've been through. I wasn't
hey,
always this
sir.
bold. Hey, Shira. Hey, Alicia. I wasn't always as bold. And that's the thing. This is all about taking your power back. Whether you're designing something, whether or not you're speaking up for yourself, or whatever it is that you're doing, it's about taking your power back, because We talk about sex, we talk about intimacy, but we really don't talk about power. But we really want
We
you
do.
guys to focus on your power, though. Focus
We do
on your
talk about
power,
power.
but focus on your power. I mean, lately we haven't really been talking about power, but we want them to focus on their power. Focus on your power, because your power is being able to speak up for yourself. Your power is being able to be your own advocate. Your power is being confident in being able to um, be the next inventor of whatever it is that you invent or improve. We just need to honor where we've been and honor where we're going.
Before I respond, Sean, it looked like you wanted to say something.
Yes, Sean, go ahead.
He like, no. Say it now. You always pull your punches and then tell us after we done. Say
I
it.
know, right?
All right, so for the fellas, this just for the fellas. The power's in the penis. Don't let them tell you nothing different. You think, oh, she give me some, oh, nah, nigga, the power's in the penis. Remember that. I mean,
That
that's
was
what
your
popped in my
PSA for
head.
tonight.
I mean, that's what popped in my head when I was like, oh shit, but I ain't want to say it, but y'all asked for it, so
So let me do a quick commercial break. Y'all, if you have not done so, make sure that you like this video, because y'all be like, dang it, I didn't like the video. I got to go back. You message me and tell me, but you don't go back. So I'm holding you accountable right now. If you're live watching us, click the like button, click out of the comments and click the like button. Okay. And make sure that you share this video. Make sure that you tell,
Yeah,
if you ain't telling them, I don't really think you like them. I'm just saying. And then, Gypsy, I'm going to respond to you and challenge what you said, only because perspective matters, right? We talk
right.
about power in every single episode. We may not say the word power, but
That
literally
part.
every episode, we are telling them to advocate, whether we're talking about sex, communication, relationships. We've talked about some of the election stuff. We've talked about the social economic client. We've talked about the political client. We've talked about PTSD. We've talked about healing in the Black community. Literally every episode, even if we don't use the word power or the word sex or the word intimacy, it's woven through every single conversation that we have, right? Because we're always telling them, speak up, ask questions, toot your horn. Like literally, we've been saying that all night. Now we
Right.
got to the word power, but we were literally saying that. So that's why I was like,
I
but we do
got you.
talk about power. And so I try to use different language, because different language resonates with different people. They
That
may
part.
not respond to the word power, but something else that we're saying encourage them, like, yeah, let me go pop my shit. Let me pop my collar. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you were telling people what you did, I was like, no, 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 pause, 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 because you're dope. And we need to honor that and celebrate that. That's power. You get what I'm saying? And I
I get
also agree with you. You learned how to advocate for yourself in the moment. My lack of advocacy, not because I didn't know how to, but because I had gotten so burned out and was so exhausted, I was not advocating. Literally, almost cost me my life in 2020. And it was a white doctor who told me, a friend of mine, a white doctor. Well, she's my friend and she's married to a friend of mine. Um, by the time I got to the Black hospital and they discovered that my appendix had ruptured likely a month prior, and you're typically septic and dead within 12 hours if they don't catch it quick enough. And I had been walking around for 4 weeks with a ruptured appendix based on their estimates on how bad the damage was. And it took me 2 weeks in the hospital and almost 4 months to actually recover decently to be able to walk up straight without falling over, right? Because I had gotten so weak and it had damaged my abdomen so badly. I went to the doctor probably around the time that it had been about the month mark when it ruptured, because I was
you.
in pain, but I was used to being strong and pushing through because I had shit to do. I had a business, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? I had stuff to do. I had a household to maintain. I had just gone through a divorce. I didn't have time to slow down and stop because my stomach hurt and my back hurt. But when I finally was hurting so badly, I was like, I can't even ignore this. I'm losing weight. Something's wrong. And I went to the doctor. They did the basics. Are you pregnant? No. Well, we're gonna do an ultrasound anyway and pregnancy test. Okay. Well, no, you're not pregnant. We don't know what it is. Well, I told y'all that.
Mm.
Then a week later, when I was feeling worse, they said, go to the emergency room, saying another white doctor. He said, well, I don't know what it could be. And let me give you some pain medicine. You need to go to a gastroenterologist. Okay. And I was on the phone begging the practice to get me in because they were booked out for like 6 months. And I was like, I'm in excruciating pain. I can't eat. I can barely walk. I am in excruciating pain. They gave me an appointment like another week later, and I woke up the day before that appointment, and I literally knew that I was dying. And if I did not get some help, I was not going to make it through the day. So I called my friend who's a nurse, and I was crawling on my hands and knees trying to get the door open to
Oh
let
wow.
her in. And she got me to the emergency room, and it was my appendix that had ruptured. And my friend was the internist at that hospital. I didn't know she had transferred, so it was just luck of the draw. And she told me, she was like, you got the black girl treatment, because there's no way you went to your doctor and they let you walk out of there without ordering a CT scan and other tests. She said, and then the fact that you went to the emergency room and they didn't do the test, they gave you the black woman treatment because they assumed your pain wasn't as bad as you said it was, because I was walking, because we know how to push through and be strong. Because when they offered me the wheelchair, I was like, no, I'm already standing up. Let me just keep on walking till I get back there and I can sit down. Because I don't know if I better get back up if I sit in this chair. But they took that as she ain't hurting that bad. She's still walking. You get what I'm saying?
And gave your ass Tylenol or Motrin.
No, they gave me a narcotic level drug, but they just gave me drugs. You understand? And made me
No,
somebody
they
else's
don't.
problem.
Often they don't give us drugs. That's the
They
thing.
don't.
That's what I'm saying. They don't give us drugs. They'll give us stuff that we can get over the counter and be like, that's how that black lady died. That black lady that was in a coma. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought about this. That black lady that was in a coma in February, from February until June.
I believe she was a nurse.
They kept her in the coma so that she could have that baby. And it was because they were dismissive of her pain and stuff. And she had did she have an aneurysm or something? But they kept her alive on a machine so that she could deliver that baby.
Because of the political.
But they were dismissive of her pain. They sent her home. She went there, said she had a severe headache and stuff, and they sent her home with Tylenol.
This is why I'm always telling people to advocate. When I was in the hospital in February with an infection, they gave me medication that night, and in the middle of the night when it wore off, they didn't have anything in my chart to give me. They had just given me one dose. And the nurse, a black nurse, was like, well, ain't nothing in the chart. I said, if you don't get your ass on the fucking phone and call the doctor who on call and ask for some medication, like I was showing out. And this is why I tell y'all, we need people that's gonna come see about us. I don't care if it's your man, your woman, your kids, your auntie, your grandma, your cat, your rat, or your dog. You need people showing their face in the hospital, because see, every time I've been in the hospital, my man is showing his face, my friends are showing their face, somebody's coming up
They
there.
need to know that somebody is looking out for you. Because if not,
if you ain't okay. You understand? Because when I told her I was in pain and I started cutting up, you better believe she called that call doctor and got something. And then he still did one dose. So the next day, I'm like, why am I having to chase y'all to get pain medicine? I started showing out again. I said, listen, I need the director of nursing's phone number. I need the hospital administrator's phone number. Why you need that? Because I'm not going to keep begging y'all for pain medicine. You got to be able to show them that you will speak up for yourself. And they need to know if you out of it, if you ain't in your right mind. My friends was like, at the nursing station, why y'all ain't giving her no pain medicine yet? They need to know you got people that will show their ass.
Yeah.
If you don't make it out, you understand? It's a difference. I'm telling y'all, having worked in these environments, they don't give a damn if they're burned out, if they're exhausted, if they just don't fucking like you, if they don't like their job, whatever the reason, they will treat you as a nuisance instead of like a patient. And you got to be able to talk up for yourself, and you got to be able to have people that will talk up for you. You get what I'm saying? Same thing when my friend was in rehab after her hip replacement, baby. I was at the nursing station. Hey, where her nurse at? They knew if they couldn't reach her husband on the phone, call me next, because I'll come up there and show my face until he can get there. Like, this is why I say our tribe, our community matters.
We got to go back to having a tribe, but at the same time, stop telling folks you can't tell me what my baby doing and don't be disciplining my baby and stuff like that. That's why the tribe has gone away, is because you got these folks out here acting a fool and stuff, because man out here acting crazy and we correcting him, and then because we correcting him, you having a damn fit. Well, shit, you
Also,
correct him and then we wouldn't have to.
I think this bears in mind as well that we are not always having as many children. I think it was easier for us to have more tribe and more numbers because our people were having more kids. It was normal for Martha and them to have 6 babies, 10 babies, 15 babies. Whereas now I know I'm an only child and I know so many only children, or even if they're having multiples, it might be 2 or 3. Now it's becoming more consistently talked about again. People are having 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children. And I love it. I'm like, shit, pop them out. If you can take care of them, keep having them badasses. I won't be there to babysit, but I love that for you. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
think I'm just throwing that out there because I don't feel like it's a true neglect of our community that we don't want to be there for each other. I think our numbers just aren't there sometimes as well. And then people are so spread out. Even though we're in the digital age and you would think that it would mean more connection, it almost means less because we're relying on text message and email
I
instead of
know,
actually
man.
in-person FaceTime. That's why I'm like, I don't give a damn about her in Atlanta. You ain't
know,
come see
I don't
this
know, sis.
friend.
When you got 35-year-old grandma,
You see how she just gonna ignore me, Sean?
I'm just saying, when you got 35-year-old grandma, you can't tell her shit.
I mean, they
I
had
know her to be
35-year-old
able to
grandmas back
tell
in
her
the day
kid
too.
shit, who's like 15, who probably got who got a baby already.
But they had 35-year-old grandmas back in the day.
No, we didn't. Not like that. No, we didn't. Oh, the hell we didn't. You
Yes,
big
the hell we did when they was having
no, we
babies at
didn't.
12, 13, and 14 years old.
No, we didn't. No, we
Uh,
didn't.
we did.
They was probably few and
I
far
know you know how to
between.
count.
Listen, hold on. But before 23 and me, we probably didn't know they was grandma because they was probably perpetrating as auntie and
They
sister.
might have been, but they was
That part.
grandmas.
That part.
You know
I'm
they
just
was
saying.
raising their babies, talking about that's
I'm
their
just
baby, but
saying.
it was their
But
I'm
grandparents.
they, but
just saying.
they still was grandmothers, whether
Right.
they acted like
I
they
know
was
you know how
something
to count
else.
now.
Now but we didn't know they was grandma till 23 and me.
Oh no.
I mean, well, I ain't never took no 23 and me. I just always got to the
I
bottom of
ain't
what
either.
the fuck was going on.
I
But
ain't either. But I didn't seen some folks that had some damn shocks and surprises and shit, and been like, "Fuck you mean that's my sister?"
Oh, this why
I
people
mean,
get scared through.
I
Tell
Fuck
had
you mean
people.
my sister, my mama.
That's what I'm saying. I know
true.
people that got caught up like that. So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. But that being said, I still will always default to saying we are amazing. And I challenge all the
We
narratives
are.
that say that we don't love each other. I listen, I love me some black men are like the bee's knees. And every black woman I know says the same thing. Black love is still alive and powerful. Black creativity is at an all-time high because we always been that shit. But we have even more technology now to help us be even more that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was excited when we talked about this last time. Like, let's go and talk about some of these inventions. Oh, before we're done, let me throw a few more out here. Um, Alice H. Parker did the gas furnace design for central heating, patented in 1919, and paved the way for modern day HVAC systems, y'all. Let's see. April Erickson Jackson developed control algorithms for NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Angela Benton founded New Me Incubator for Black tech entrepreneurs and helping to drive business tech innovation. Clarence Ellis, Carrie Holly, Peter Del Fayette Jr., Lisa Gila Lisa Stevens, all key to internet and software infrastructure, and they continue to have impact on the 21st century tech that we still use. We've already talked about Madam C.J. Walker. I really was trying to find like some of the less celebrated, some of the less known, for the things we use every single day. But their names were not quite as well known. And the list goes on and on and on, because we talk about it in our community, but there's still so much that we've done that still isn't attributed to us. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to use anything
That we didn't have a hand in.
that we did not either create or improve. It made it
Yep.
as to what it is today.
Yeah. That being said, before we bring this glorious show to a close, because listen, my pain medicine got me wanting to talk sideways and go to the
Yes,
left.
we about to wrap it up, because we can see that our co-host, we can see her face, and she is
pain, y'all.
We are acknowledging her pain, and we want y'all to pray for her pain.
Stop going to the bar knocking niggas out.
Right. Like, I mean, you do recognize which risk it is, y'all. I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, like, we just gonna So we gonna ignore that Lefty then went on and got with somebody, but
out there getting in the trouble.
This being said, we want to see y'all next week. Next week's topic will be a little bit different. We'll probably, we'll let you know ahead of time. But we did want to celebrate us, because we are brilliant people. We thank y'all again for the commercial breaks. I need y'all to go back and make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you look at our ads that show before and after the show. Those are some brilliant businesses that we support. And we thank you very much for always tuning in, and we'll see you next Monday.
Peace. Love y'all. I'll be right back.